Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of this. It came from the Workbench series. It is Ruby, the Element Trailrunner, who, I don't know what it is. We've got more than a number of rigs that are element-based, element axles, element chassis, what have you. Stealth X gearboxes, Stealth XF gearboxes. We got Ruby because, well, I'm talking about her like she's not here, because for whatever reason they went on sale. $275 for the RTR, and we were like, well, can't pass that up. Brought her home, did the two elements, no pun intended, of the quick view, and was just enamored overall by the performance profile and just the sort of passing the condo test experience of driving it. So it sort of became an unofficial, unspoken thing of like, what can we do that's the minimum to get it to where you're just like, yep, that's the thing. So in part two of the, well, okay, a preface and a disclaimer. There's going to be a fair number of things here included that I thought I hadn't talked about, but I had, and I'm also going to omit things that I thought that I talked about. Anyway, I cannot recall what... I know some of the changes that have taken place since last time she was featured on screen, but some of them I'm not sure of. Her wheels have gone to the most Toyota 4Runner-looking wheels I could think of. These are Injoras. And I was like, wow, that's them. Black on the silver, silver on the black, scale hardware on them. Brass rings in the front, the regular rings in the back. They are the Louise mallets, which have quickly jumped to the top of my list of favorite Class 1 tires. Are they the most capable Class 1 tire? No. There are two more capable Class 1 tires sitting right over here in a massive pile of tires on the bench where there's about 12 sets of tires over there, including Class 1 megalithics, Class 1 tusks. But, as I'd alluded to in another video, you don't put the most capable tire on the most capable vehicle. Reserve the most capable tire for a vehicle that isn't quite as good. Plus, I love the look of these. I think they fit her perfectly. So we made some very small changes. Wheels, tires, Injora silicone greens, the soft ones, because she is not that heavy. I had a set of homeless, unused Rock Pirates sliders for Element. They fit perfectly on there. Well, they fit nearly perfectly on there. Her body had to get a little, you can see there's a little banana there. Had to trim it up ever so slightly to clear these. And, oh yes, I can't recall if they were spoken about. These are the STRC lower brass bits for IFS 1. There will still be in the future, I all but guarantee it, there will be a head-to-head where we will run this, we will run Ruby just as she is, and then we will just hot swap in IFS 2 and see, because I want to see them back-to-back. I've wheeled her a little bit, as things were added and taken away, like I had to make sure things were holding on in the correct positions. These are not light, so they add a little bit of low weight. From what little off-screen wheeling I've done with her, she is very deceptive in that this body is large. It's not a small body, so it looks big and heavy, but it does not behave big nor heavy. Yeah, we still... I'm anxious to see how long this thing is going to stay on, because on her approach, departure, she really drags that on the ground. But in the front, it's pretty good, better than I thought it was going to be with how far this bumper is out in front. She feels heavy and not heavy at the same time. I love the Louise. I think they're perfectly matched, these Injora grain silicones. I think the wheels look the part. What I'm trying to get at is Ruby might be at the point. Like, I can't think of anything offhand explicitly that need be done. I mean, obviously we want to try IFS 2, but in terms of performance as it sits now, from what little bit I've done, I can never Start to feel like I'm losing my mind. And then it just drops on. I can't think of any massive holes in the performance. Because we're talking about IFS 1 and IFS in general, it's not going to be the absolute utmost maxed out performance powerhouse, but there's something about it. I'm not quite sure what it is. Again, success is very subjective. And for me, in this case, in the case of the Trailrunner, Ruby, the Trailrunner / Forerunner, success is the positives handily outweighing the negatives. And I think she's absolutely there. It looks so good. I can't think of anyone who thinks it doesn't look good. And when you think of performance per dollar, well, no. Smiles per dollar? I don't know. If we have to put a dollar value on it, we changed the things that would be changed anyway. We have to get the reedy garbage out of there, the servo and the speed control and the motor. That's a given. Fusion and a 32 kg out of the box. Perfect. Does great. We changed wheels, tires, and inserts, which you do anyway, like in a DRTRification. So beyond that, the only real modifications, air quotes around that, I put these sliders on here, and I put the brass pieces on. The brass pieces are courtesy of a channel member from up in the great wet state of Washington, who I'm not 100% following on the provenance of why they had brand new sealed in the package STRC brass lower bits for IFS1. Perhaps they got rid of that vehicle, or they changed to IFS2, or they four-linked, whatever. They were brand new, and we threw them on there, and it's like 10 minutes to put those parts on. And it is weight where you want it. It doesn't rotate, and on an IFS, I mean, think about it. Here's where that weight is. I don't think you can get the weight any lower than that. Yeah, the geometry, every time I look at her nose end, I go, man, IFS2 is just better thought out. But the goal is to have her like this, because if she doesn't explicitly need the new and improved advantages of IFS2, then we should reserve IFS2 for something that does. Missing Link does real well. Missing Link, I guess Missing Link is the missing link between what Element used to make, which were things like this, and Element now with the Zool 2. Missing Link fell right in between. So, we're going to do some bucket chair sitting and some bucket chair driving, and we're just going to enjoy the very overcast morning and see how we feel about Ruby in her current form. Maybe this is finished. I don't know. She still has a couple tests to do with the IFS2 stuff, but in terms of major structural changes, maybe we're done. Wouldn't that be wild? That would be wild. That would fall into a category occupied by only a couple other very scale rigs, like the little MST Jimny, little fella. Most rigs here, we tune them to our liking, wants over needs, and I don't think she needs anything at this point, and I'm not sure I want to put any more on. So let's see if the joy is sparked as much out there as it is in here, and I go from there, I guess. I don't know. It's a pretty laid-back morning. I speak often about the feelings or whatever's, nameless things gleaned from the drive back from the shop to the course. And this is generally not one of those instances, but I will say the tendency, the predilection, you can see it a little bit on the passenger front of IFS to toe in violently under compression. When you're walking directly behind old Ruby here as she drives under cruise control, the front tires are aiming towards each other, and you're like, man, that's weird. It does make it track pretty straight, so, and also, for whatever reason, like the front tire is too far back. There's no way to adjust that. I don't know what's going on there. The rear tire is perfectly centered in the wheel well. We get the both sides. I don't know. But other than that, aside from the popping noises every time you steer hard, the mallets are genuinely surprising. And the IFS-1 does not have near the steer angle / accuracy of IFS-2. And I'm just using that in memories from Driving Missing Link. But aside from that, like the approach, the departure, the breakover, all of that stuff, it's really not bad. And I am definitely noticing the addition of the weight. The little bit of brass in the front, the brass in the front wheels, the Rock Pirate sliders. She's got this stability now. And like that right there, I would have anticipated that front end to, go straight. Oh, the front end noses over. And I think why it's working, or part of why it's working is, can I get that off of there? Let's see how long she'll hold it out. I mean, she will get so sideways. And here's the thing. They definitely improved with IFS-2. Mostly in the Camberg knows what they're doing. So mostly in the responsiveness of it. The steering feels more crisp. But ignorance is bliss. If I didn't know, if I had no experience with IFS-2, and I was warned by many that the front end's a shovel, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, I don't know. Maybe because I've been going through a life change where we've got stuff with leafs on it. We've tested the Rock Hobby FMS 1941 Willys. I've driven a Scottsdale. I've been working on getting better at driving my Marlin. I recognize the shortcomings of IFS-1, but I can adapt to them surprisingly quickly. To me. Yeah, that front weight. The front weight is obviously it's going to hurt the steering a little bit. But it's a trade, because it's not that we're just, oh no, we've lost a little bit of steering. The level of stability is ridiculous, and I forget that she's a 12/8 wheelbase. That little plastic hung up there. I think I can counter this back. She just goes. And because that body is so big, relatively, I mean, to me she looks small. I was driving RoboKitty yesterday, so to me she looks small. But it's nice. Okay, listen, I'm not turning into a Class 1 guy, but I'm starting to get it a little bit more. I'm starting to embrace it a little more. Straight axles, Class 1 tires. You can adapt to it relatively quickly. I have concluded that I am no great fan of basically anything smaller than a 393. And she came on 385s. I think if you had the best compound, make me something, and I'm sure it's out there. Somebody's going to mention it in the comments. RC 4-wheel drive, I'm sure, makes a tire in X2 SS in 385. I have a comfort zone. And that comfort zone extends down to 393 under specific instances, but for the most part, 419. She does not act, compared to the first two installments, or the two installments of her Quick View, I don't notice the length of the wheelbase anymore. And I mean, we added some low weight and some better inserts and better tires and stuff, but I don't know. Intangibles. There are definitely intangibles here, because see that steer angle right there? That's IFS-1. But you can acclimate. And she is wildly stable. Because in general, so this is just a theme, thematically, greater stability generally comes at a cost. Forward drive tends to go first. And I think we are behind the wheel of something that is an exception to that rule. I don't know. This is, are we just, we could just well be fortunate. This could be a fortunate series of interconnected events where you take a mallet, you put that green in it, you put it on a rig of about her weight, and it isn't, you don't even hold on. You just go. Ooh. Like that right there. That was too much turn up. We should have at least lifted passenger front. No geometry changes. Now I think we might overload here. There we go. She don't mind. She don't even mind. And then right here, one-hander. Get that pumpkin over. Never touched it with the second hand. It puts a smile on your face. I don't want to sound like I'm welcome on down to Element RC. Come on down, get yourself a trail runner. Out of the box, and my experiences include Enduro SE, Ecto, Gatekeeper. I'm trying to think. Anything else? This one, out of the box. And by out of the box, we mean you take all the reedy and you throw it away. That's just a given. You cannot function with that reedy stuff in there. I'm building a secret box of it. You put a Fusion in this, and honestly, under the hood, I don't know if you need to do anything else. The wheels and the tires here have to be playing. They've got to be, they're catching the game-winning pass because it's so good. I don't know if the camera shows how good it is. I hope that it does. Because the stability. Watch that high side. What do we have to do to get the high side in the air? Like, it looks like she should go, right? Like she should go. Let's steer down, give it more load. There we go. We can get it up a little. It's like it's a 45-degree side hill. The sliders might be working too. Maybe I've been an enemy of sliders because the sliders aren't just perfectly flat across the bottom. Oh no, that does bring a thought up in my head. I never gripe. I was thinking of the B word. I never gripe about the sliders on any of the Zoku fitted rigs either because they're like boat hull shaped. They're angled, sloped, they're, contoured. They're contoured. These are flat as a pancake, but we ground it across the top of that rock with no problem there. And like, we'll just steer up and there we go, slid the nose across. She just wants to go. She just wants to go. It is pleasantly rewarding. But if you're feeling high, sometimes you need nothing more than some gates to bring yourself down. So, ooh, there's that wheelbase. I can actually hear those alloy rod sliders grinding. She's so long. Now, okay, now I feel the length. All right, let's try the other side. Need to hug real. I need to keep that. Nope. Okay. There's a spot. I already knocked it off. There's a spot right there. I needed to have driver rear up on that little point before the front end started to swing around. So yeah, we got LWB'd there, big old long wheelbase, which leads me to believe that if we can get up over that, this little spot right here, a lot of rigs have an issue right here because there's a little slot in between the two rocks and the rear tire. Okay, so the passenger rear is out of frame and way up in the air. Now will we hold it, or is it going to transfer? It's when that rear drops. Stand it, push it down. Okay, now we should be able to cut back. Now we'll see if we're hollering slider or if it's going to do what its name. If it's going to do its name and slide. Cut back. Again, surprising level of maneuverability. Really is. I'm running through the database. We don't have an overwhelming number of class 1s here. We're up to 5. I think we have 5. The experience of this one against all better judgment. I mean, Rusty is great, but this is sort of a next level thing. It's really good. And the changes, again, are what, at the very least by Canyon standards, we would call minimal. And in case none of y'all have picked up on it, we use sequences like this. You can see I've got 3, 4, and 5 keyed up, and part of 6 keyed up in the framing. So what we do is these are little driver training exercises for me. We've got a double task here. Slider, get up. Well, that's just slidered in the middle, bumpered in the front. These are driving exercises where gate 4, and I'm talking about 4 while I'm slidered up so hard. I'm talking about 4 while I've not yet managed to get through 3. It's way over there. I'm pointing over there. It's way over there. So I'm practicing. Maybe if I hook around the outside of this, get that IFS over it. There it is. There it is. Oh no. Oh. Just a little soft baby nudge. That was the line though. We were in the line. And again, I forget that it's IFS 1 under there. You know what I fear though? I fear the test where we put IFS 2 under there, and she's going to be a part of me, a dark part, wants IFS 2 to not have this, to not have this. I don't want it to have that. I feel like it's going to though, because the IFS 1 experience has been pretty great. Heard that slipper going. And it's not as if the turning circle is terrible. I would take a little better. That is 12 foot. It's 12 foot away. So on the oblique here, we're going to try to entry up through here because we've got to get the IFS up over this ledge. I am not going to be able to see driver's side marker at all. There we go. Nope. Oh, come. Parallax. It's a training exercise. And this is just my opinion, but it might be true. Now it's 20 plus feet. If you're driving from the same eye line and the same eye position, it's like what I did to myself in 7 years of cycling. If you only give your legs one type of movement, I have stronger legs now, and I haven't touched a bike in almost 2 years because I got to move bags of concrete around and lift rocks. Muscle building exercise. So you have to strengthen that muscle. You have to drive from positions that you're not comfortable with. I'm not particularly comfortable with this right here, because even when I'm on top of this, where it's way over there at gate 5, I will tend to hug too close to the yellow side and be too far away from the white marker. So I'm hoping that I stay. Can we fix this? Yeah. We'll be able to do 6 because we're going to get a bunch closer. And I said that before getting over here. I didn't honestly know if IFS was going to be able to get onto this. Push, push, push. A little throttle bump there. Cut back, cut back. It is, I don't know. It was unanticipated. It was unintended. And I think what has happened is, IFS is potentially some sort of gateway drug. And for me, for people who have worked backwards, I'm Toyota having to learn how to make a pushrod engine to enter NASCAR because they had never done it. Yeah, this is a breakover problem here. Okay, we've already killed the marker, so I can't 100% tell what's stuck, but I'm so enjoying the experience, the limitation. So this is that working backwards. A lot of people are leafer guys, and then they transition over into 3-link, 4-link. I'm the opposite. I started with 3-link, 4-link. That's how you get across that. Okay, we've got all 4 wheels up. There we go. Oh, that rear valance is a problem. I'm enjoying the limitations of it, and here's why I think why. We've got a Lexan body, so I'm not gonna rip it to bits. And the weight is not remarkably high. It's not 7.5, 8 pounds, so you get more of a little sprightly maneuver to it. But there is the delightful limitation of IFS. I see the ball. Shoot away. This also works out. Camera placement works teeter-totter. Can I use that ball to help me across? No. Camera placement like this also works out great. We're just knocking balls today. Camera placement works great because it's a built-in excuse for hitting all the gates. I'm sitting really far away. I've never driven any of these gates on IFS. It's just excuses atop excuses, and I love overcast, and it's a beautiful morning. I just hit a gate from another course. Ooh. Think she'll hold? I should be out here weeding. There's entirely too much greenery out here. That crabgrass will not die. I'm okay with it. Most green I'm okay with. Ooh. Okay, can't see it, so we're gonna reposition. I'm so impressed with the mallets and the behavior of the mallets with the Endure greens. I would go so far as to say, if you're running class 1, if you're running class 1 non-hard body, like particularly if you're putting one of these together, don't get it. No. The greens. Class 1 greens in your choice. The mallet is a little stiffer than a tusk or a megalithic, but not so much that I think that if you put a green in a tusk or something, it's just gonna fall apart on you. Like it's gonna overcollapse. She's in that mid-5s. She's sub 6 pounds. Well, we're far away. Built-in excuses. I can't tell what I'm doing. If we were to, like, how far can we pan out? She's way over there. Oh, you know what? We can do this while we're here. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, look at the weeds, man. And they're foxtails, man. You gotta get, I don't know what they're actually called. You gotta get those while they're still green. I feel like this is an unofficial old time OG style Wheelin' Wednesday. We get a rig, we come out on a beautiful morning with the birds that chirping and too many weeds, and we just drive it about. That's really far away. We're gonna have to hopped right over the top of it. Oh, that was a good one. There's nothing left to do except do what I always do. I do these in reverse. Let's park way over. There we go. There's a cinematic framing for you. We always do thumbnail last because there's a specific reason that we take thumbnail last. Because we always continually forget to take thumbnail first. My phone is over on the bench by Slick Rock. Ruby and I would love to thank you so much for coming out to the canyon. What a beautiful morning. And there's part of me that's like, you need to get the trim up on that building so you can paint it and it will be done. And then you can't think about it anymore. And then the distracted part of my brain is like, you should drive more RC cars. And then the other part of my brain is like, you need to get these weeds, brother. I don't know. If it was an imaginary perfect day, we would do all three. Ooh, maybe. We might drive more RC cars. We might put up trim on the building so it can be finished and we can tear that metal shed down. That metal shed. The day that you see angle 2 from Slick Rock and it doesn't have that rusty metal building in the background will be a very, very good day in the canyon. Today was a very good day in the canyon. Thanks so much for joining us. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. In between now and then, please one and all do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. Ruby is over there. I am over here. You are over there. We will hopefully, someday, if the stars align, we will all meet in the middle being the canyon. And we'd love to see you there. We'd love to see you here. We'd love to see you then. And until then, we'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for joining us here in the canyon. Let's see how long I can stay from now. That's it. She's gone. We're gone. See you next time, everybody.